It's the Ticket Plug. We've been running an online ticket business for over a decade, and now we've created an easy way for you to do the same thing through our private ticket resale community. Joining our community will give you a way to flip your bread and generate profit income consistently. We provide you with all the tools, training, and resources needed to start your life-changing online ticket business. Zero experience needed. To join our ticket resale community, go to thetickettrap.com. Again, go to thetickettrap.com.
Click the link at the top line of the description. But over the weekend, man, I never thought we would be saying this, man. I think it was Saturday. We was at the, your daughter's birthday party, and people started, informing us that President Trump was actually shot. Now, he was grazed, but at the time, information was still coming out. But I never thought in my lifetime that I would be talking about that. Any president. I thought that was kind of like a thing more so of the past, but no, he was at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, and a young 20-year-old, whatever supporter he was, tried to take his head off, man. When you first heard it, what was kind of your initial thoughts?
Couldn't believe it. Didn't believe it. Obviously, like you said, we was at my daughter's birthday party, and people were telling us, and I'm like, nah, that ain't true.
Right.
And then I sat down and told you, and you started looking it up, and come to find out, yeah, it was true.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm torn. Right, I'm torn because half of me is like, damn, like I don't want to see anybody get shot. Anybody. I don't care if they're Republican. I don't care if they're Democrat. There's a lot of bad with both of them. Half of me don't want to see anybody get shot. What is interesting to me is the public reaction. That's what I said. I said, let me strip away, being in the profession that we're in, let me strip away my personal feelings and just watch and see how people are reacting to this, because we've seen, obviously, January 6th. We've seen Kyle Rittenhouse go around and do his thing. We've seen things happen in Charlotte. We've seen terroristic acts before. Never on this level where there was a potential, a former president and a presidential nominee being shot at. We haven't seen that since Reagan, and you and I weren't allowed to see that happen. And I wanted to see if they were going to call dude that shot him a terrorist, call him this, call him that. No, they're kind of basically trying to make him out as a victim, which is interesting to me. Another thing that's interesting to me is, he's one of the most powerful white men in the world. Let's just call it for what it is. Donald Trump is one of the most powerful men in the world, and he's a white man. We've heard so much about how this don't happen to these kind of people. Well, it just did. And it didn't happen to Obama. And if you would have asked me who it would have happened to, I'd have told you Obama 1,000%. Why? Because that's a black man in a presidential chair. They don't like him. They're going to take him out. But no, they taking out this dude. So I kind of just pay attention. I'm wondering why. A lot of people were saying, oh, well, he deserved it. Oh, well, this is a reaction. He's been inciting violence his entire presidency. You hear all of this shit. And I just wonder if it was on the other foot, how the conversation, how the narrative would be steered. And I'm just kind of paying attention and watching. But what's your thoughts, bro?
And we'll get to the puppeteers and the puppets, like D.L. Hughley, Charlamagne guys, even the Plows. As ignorant as he is, much of a clown as Plies is, he's actually weighing in on it. But it was an assassination attempt.
Yep.
A lot of people saying that it's fake. And my thing is it fake? That guy that died trying to protect his kids, is that fake? Like people saying, oh, he grabbed and put a blood capsule. It's like, come on, man. I think this is what it shows you. And if you just, you ain't even got to be a student of history. If you just know kind of like the history of presidents that have been assassinated or political figures, it was for a reason. Like, you're going against the status quo. You're going against the establishment. We're knocking your head off. Or we're going to attempt to knock your head off. So this kind of shows you, like, all right, as much as people say this about Trump and that about Trump, the economy was better. It was better for black people when he was in office. It was better for all people when Trump was in office. And he is kind of anti-establishment to the point where he's talking about, America this, America that. And a lot of the stuff that he says makes sense. The big corporations, your Verizons, your Metas, all these. And you see Twitter, Elon Musk, and that's the guy that owns Twitter, right? He's all for him, 100%. Why? Because he's saving these companies when he comes in office hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars in taxes. He's helping the regular American people. He's doing a lot of things. I'm not saying he's some damn savior or nothing like that, but we're working with the lesser of two evils. And I kind of was thinking like, yo, is this a situation where we've been talking about let's not get bamboozled, and they kind of now like. I was thinking maybe they trying to use the situation to get us like, all right, fighting. I'm for Trump. I'm for Biden. Now, like they before it's like, all right, we got to get somebody black. Now we're gonna make this dude 50 Cent. Remember they were saying he got felonies. He can relate to black people now, right? He's trying to get a job. He got shot. Oh, he put his black. It's like, is this shit a hoax? Is it AI? Is it stage? And then I sat back and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go with they trying to take this dude out because. Whatever agenda that they're trying to push, he's not for that shit. That's the only time in history you've seen presidents get killed, political figures get killed or almost killed or assassinated, drugged, or deleted, whatever you want to call it, is when they were anti-establishment, against the status quo, against what the powers that be were trying to implement. That's it. That's all. And we'll dig deeper in. I want to kind of get into the pawns in the game too. The guys like D.L. Hughley, the guys like Charlamagne, like you were saying, you know, on his show today, because I wanted to hear what he had to say, so I played a little bit. And all he was doing was playing clips about when Trump was so-called inciting this, or when Trump made fun of Nancy Pelosi. I'm like, even with all that, does the man deserve a bullet in his head to be killed? Like, have we moved that far to where it's like, all right, he said a couple of things, but he deserved to get this is payback, this is karma? Come on, man. Like, I don't wish death on nobody like that. None of the candidates, nobody. I don't care what they said. He don't deserve death. That's my thoughts.
A lot of people, and I don't know if you've heard the term Project 2025.
Yeah,
a lot of people are very scared on the Democratic side and in the black community of what's going to happen if Trump becomes president again and he's going to mandate this scary thing called Project 2025. I'm going to read a little bit about what it is. Now, obviously, I'm not going to read the full thing, but a proposed Republican Party platform is expected to be approved at the party's national convention next week, but a much more detailed think tank proposal has drawn attention from some of its suggestions. Project 2025 was created by the Heritage Foundation think tank and runs for nearly 900 pages. Led by former Trump administration official, it calls for the sacking of thousands of civil servants, expanding the power of the president, dismantling the Department of Education, sweeping tax cuts, a ban on pornography, halting sales of the abortion pill, and a whole lot more. There's a substantial agreement between many parts of the official Republican platform and Project 2025, although the think tank document is much more detailed and in some policy areas goes much further up the party line. I'm trying to see, and you guys I'm sure will correct us if we're wrong or help us enlighten us, where this affects black folk. Because the overwhelming... It's almost like a lot of these platforms and a lot of these pawns within these platforms, in particular on the Democratic side, in particular those who speak for black voices, try to put fear in our hearts, try to fearmonger us into believing if this man will become president, the world will end the second he's announced, in particular for black folk. They tried to do it back in, 2016? 2017, 2018. Whenever Trump got elected president, I remember when they put his face on there, and I'm like, oh shit. One, he actually did it, and two, oh damn, is this Y2K? Is all the lights about to go out? Is all the black people about to be thrown in detention camps and all this shit? And listen, I'm not for Trump or against Trump. And I think a lot of people have a problem with that. Just because we don't dislike him, don't mean we all the way throwing up presidential Trump 2024. But honestly, oh God, you can let me know if I'm wrong, because we got 3 businesses out of this blessing we got here, and I don't think our business has flourished any better than the 4 years when Homeboy was in office.
And a lot of guys that I know, businessmen, said the same thing. I was talking to my guy yesterday. He said Trump had crypto going, bananas. And if for the businessman, even the black businessman, like
small business,
right? They understand, that it's about that, and your corporate tax rates. And if you own a corporation, what's going to be the tax rate? Are you giving 50% of your money up, or are you giving 21% of your money up? And that makes a big difference. Or is he giving more opportunities, to get grants, loans, and things like that? Housing market, urban development, all these different things actually matter when you're living in a society. What a grocery price is like, what a gas price is like. Everybody's being squeezed right now. Rent prices. People are being squeezed. People need to work 2 jobs. People need side hustles. Come on, like that's what matters. Like I don't give a damn if you're Republican, Democrat, asshole, cat. how's it going to affect my bottom line? That's where I'm at with it.
And
You know
why,
what I mean?
and why aren't these questions being asked? Like, I just wish, like, you can tell what political agenda you're trying to convey when people out here running their mouth. There's never any equality. There's never any, hey, look, I don't give a fuck what this is. I don't care what this is. Who's going to have our best interests at heart? Who's going to lay down laws so that we have better education? Who's going to lay down laws to where we have proper food and proper nutrition in our communities? Who's going to help these young people get jobs and opportunities to where they don't want to run to the street and sell the drugs that they've planted and put into the communities and eventually thrown into these private prisons that a lot of these people on blue and red both own? And none of this conversation is happening. It's always fear-mongering. Oh, this is a racist. This is KKK. This is this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dude that shot him looked KKK in the motherfucking to me.
Left-hand white guy.
White in the mud.
Yeah.
And what's the difference between him and Kyle Rittenhouse? I couldn't tell the difference. But because he shot at somebody y'all don't like, now all of a sudden, none of that conversation is happening.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, oh, this dude was being bullied in school. Oh, this dude was this. That dude was 20 years old. 4 or 5 years, 2, 3 years exited from high school. What do we care about that for? That man had a gun and tried to kill one of the presidential nominees, and whether you like him or not depends on whether he was right or wrong, and that's dangerous.
And what about the innocent people?
Yep.
That it could have been hit. Children. It was children there. All types of elderly, and just people that's out there supporting their candidate. That's as American as it gets. And he's out there shooting the damn AR-15 from a damn roof into a crowd of people. Oh my goodness.
Do you want to see a mandate on guns now because of that?
No, it ain't got nothing to do with the gun.
Talk about it.
It has nothing to do with the gun. It's the fool behind the gun.
Yep.
Your gun don't shoot itself, and that's the part I don't like about it. Like, that's a machine you have to pick up, and if you're going to be dealing with guns, you know it's something that could kill you or somebody else. You know, even you got to be so sure to make sure you're pointing it to the ground because, you know, it can go through the wall and hit something, or go through houses, or go through. So you got to. It's a very delicate and dangerous machine that you should know how to operate. So. But it don't operate itself, so it got nothing to do with the gun.
A man or a woman can throw a radio plugged up into a bathtub and kill somebody. Somebody can grab a knife and stab somebody. I don't hear them saying mandates on radios in the bathroom or knives, but because it's a gun, now all of a sudden people get up in arms about it. Now we're talking about, oh, let's talk about legislation for gun protection. Nah, fuck that, because if they didn't have a gun, dude would have probably killed more people. And if it wasn't for a gun for somebody that knew what they were doing with it, knocking dude's head off, we could have had a lot more innocent casualties. I don't care what sign they put up. I don't care that they represent the Republican side. That does not matter to me. I don't want to see anybody dying. Our people in particular, but everybody in general. I don't want to see nobody dying, especially on TV, man. And we got to get up out of there. I know America was built on violence, and America was this, and America was that. Man, look, I'm not for that.
We predisposed, like, we feel like we got to pick a side.
That's crazy.
We don't feel like we can ever be neutral. It's like, oh, I got to be for this. Oh, I got to be for that. No, you don't. You got to be for none of that shit. Or you can say, okay, I looked at both what they stand for and what he stands for. This is why. You notice you hear the guys like Charlamagne, Plies, D.L. Hughley, Fat Joe. You never hear them talking about policy. Like you said, it's always, you know, oh, Trump is this, and oh, Trump lied and he's this. I'll vote for Joe if he was this, but you never hear them talking about, okay, this is why. All the time Fat Joe runs his fat mouth on his little camera in his house with the Pepsi and shit behind him. You never hear him talking about policy and shit. And why he, you know, all right, this is why I'm voting for Biden, because X, Y, Z. You never hear that.
Because he's not voting for Biden.
He voted for Trump on the low.
Because he's not voting for Biden. And don't let these people fool you. You talk about millionaires, right? Who are getting paid to say something. I don't care what we know, what we don't know. Getting paid to say something. Why in the hell would they pick a candidate that's going to make them lose money? This is all about money. This ain't about Puerto Rican race. This ain't about the black race. When you're talking about them celebrities, they are talking about their money.
Yeah.
And if Trump was saving them the most money, they can run their mouth and say whatever they want on camera. Once they go into that voting booth in New York, or this and that, everybody in there, Trump. Yeah. And I'm getting up out of Dodge. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they tell you. But who are they pandering, and who are they talking, and who are they putting fear into? The masses. The ones that aren't receiving and aren't really absorbing proper information or talking about policy. It's always interesting how they talk about policy and how they talk about what one man's doing, but they will never bring up the other negative side to bring a balanced, equal conversation. It always, when you hear one of these men that you talk about policy, it's always policy going against the person they want to lose, never against the person they want to win. You don't hear about Biden's negative policies. You talking about Biden's policies are good. All Biden's policies are perfect, and for us, get the F out of here.
Right.
But y'all won't bring that up because you guys are paid and programmed to make sure that red, in particular, Donald Trump, never sees the office. This is red versus blue, period. And because Donald Trump is on the red side, now all of a sudden he's not good. If he was on the blue side talking all this, he'd be a revolutionary. It's just crazy how one color can separate somebody's whole effing mind, man. Yeah. And we're not going to be played or programmed. I don't care what y'all call us in the comments section of this or that.
Unsubscribe. Bye.
You done said that 10 videos ago. Appreciate you sticking around.
You'll be back. You'll be back.
You'll be back. Man, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm still paying attention to this conversation. Like I said, when you don't talk non-negative about Trump, all of a sudden you support him. It ain't like I like dude. I don't dislike dude.
I don't.
I don't dislike Donald Trump.
I think he's a character to me.
I do too.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. And
then when you really look at it, him and Joe are probably golfing out somewhere in Pebble Beach or something, laughing about this whole entire shit. Oh, man.
What does this do to Trump's legacy? Because, he got shot. He went in there and put the fist up. People was like, ah! They love him. Middle America loves Trump, man.
It's over.
He loves him.
This right here won dude election.
Yeah.
This right here won that dude election. If he didn't get, outside of him getting his brain splattered, him standing up, that won him the election. That picture will forever ring in Trump supporters' brains, and they are going to flock. People that were on the fence, that kind of wanted to rock with Trump but didn't, that situation is going to make them flock to the polls and vote for Trump. So in that situation, that circumstance, I can see why people think it was staged, but somebody lost their life, bro. And if it was a fraction off here or there, we'd have watched a man's brains get blown out. A presidential nominee, former president's brains get blown out. We ain't seen no shit like that since Kennedy, bro. And neither one of us were around. Our parents were kids when that happened. Man. And what a time it was. Man, oh man, this is. Let me say this to black people. And shout out to Angela Stanton King, who should come on for an interview, by the way. You got my number. Come on, come through.
Yeah.
She said this. Okay. If a white dude, one of the most powerful white dudes, can get shot on national TV in a damn convention, what does that say for us? What are they going to do to us if they feel they will do whatever they want to whoever they want at any time? Ain't nobody safe out here. Blue, red, or nobody. But y'all keep celebrating somebody getting shot at on national TV.
Yeah, that's let's just, just say, for instance, for the people out there who's going to keep saying, stage. I looked at my phone, and I said, the first thing I see is stage.
You knew that was coming.
Look, it was staged. It was staged. 13 minutes ago. How do you know? Are you looking at other people's internet videos? Are you looking at somebody moving their tongue? Are you looking at somebody doing a cross sign? Are you focusing in on individual people in the audience? Oh, this team moved their head the wrong way.
You see checkerboards in the back, so all of a sudden you think it's Illuminati?
Like, what make? Do you see the ketchup packet that he put on him? Did you see the blood? That he went like that and smeared. Like, I get it. The Secret Service, it was a horrible job. Like, I'm not even into that, but just looking at it, it was horrible the way they reacted. To the whole situation. Even the one guy, allegedly, I was reading this. I don't know if the guy actually said it, but the guy that was the shooter was saying that he had the dude in his sights for a few minutes, but he had to wait on somebody else to give him the cue to knock his head off. Ugh. I guess there's like a rank and file, just like you see in the movies. Yeah. They holding this like, yo, can I do it?
Right,
Can I take it?
Yeah.
Clear. They didn't give him the clear. And they're going to follow protocol. Ex-military guys, they're going to follow protocol to the T no matter what. I guess eventually he should have never been able to get the shot off, but that's here nor there. Even the way they even corralled him, you got to get him out of there quick.
Yeah.
He was up there like putting his fist up, trying to get his shoes and shit. And there could have been bullets flying that whole time.
Sitting duck, yep.
You know what I mean? So, and the reason I think that is not because it was staged. And I just think that since something didn't happen since in the 80s, you're talking damn near 40-something years. I think they just let their guard down, which is a shame. It shouldn't never happen. They should have the tightest security in the world. And how does somebody even get on the roof? How does somebody climb 100 yards, 150, 200, 300,
A 20-year-old kid with no training.
Right.
It's crazy.
It just goes to show you, like, it wasn't as secure as you think it. I was listening to a guy earlier who's like an ex sniper, Marine guy or something like that. And he was talking about, like, these things are supposed to be planned out months, weeks in advance. All perimeters, all scenarios are supposed to be, mapped out and make sure that there's nothing that could go wrong. So they definitely dropped the ball in that. But stage, I just don't see it. I'll have to see more evidence.
We've been lied to before. So
Absolutely.
I know why people will kind of be cynical at everything. And there's some people that don't believe shit.
Yeah.
More power to you. Would you say, because I believe you, I agree 1,000%. I don't think this was staged. Would you say, though, this was an inside job in the sense that they might, let's say that what you heard is true and they did know and dude was trying to get clearance and wasn't allowed to get clearance. Let's ask why. And do you think that this could have potentially been something that could have been avoided and intentionally wasn't avoided?
It's hard to say. The reason I don't think it's an inside job, I think it's just some knucklehead who wanted to do it, is because why would you get somebody? The dude was knocked out of school, like some type of a sniper school or something. He flunked out. He failed out of it. They kicked him out.
Oh, did he?
Of
Okay,
there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mad shit comes out every day.
Of course.
You got to kind of sift through it. You gonna get somebody who's gonna get the job done. But even with that, I was listening to the guy earlier. He was like, you don't aim for the head because the head is always moving. You aim for a part of the body, which we don't know if he's aiming for his head or not. It just happened to, a piece of glass grazed his ear. But it's so many things that can go wrong, even with the best shooter. Somebody you see the movies, somebody move on a little bit like this, like that. This shit can go past and nip my ear and hit this.
That's what they said saved him. That's what they said saved him.
Right.
That's slightest the head movement.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's just like I just feel like if it was if it was an inside job, they would have get the job done.
Yeah.
They would get it done. It's no, and maybe they wouldn't have picked. They'd have picked maybe a different area where they could get a clean line of sight. But I just think it was a knucklehead in Butler, Pennsylvania, which I never even heard of, some rural town, white America, whatever. He wanted to become a martyr, whatever, and he took the shot and got his head knocked off for it. That's what I think. Inside job, possibly, but why would you hire that dude to do it?
It's crazy because love or hate Trump, love or hate Biden, love or hate any of the former presidents, still the president of America, right? And whether we say it or not, America will look at that as a terroristic act.
All day.
That's a terroristic act.
Yeah, all day.
I ain't heard one person call this dude a terrorist, dog. I ain't heard one person call this dude a terrorist.
Right.
I'm sitting there watching him get his feet played with in high school, but I ain't seen not one person call that dude a terrorist.
Absolutely.
And if there's anybody in the dictionary that look like a terrorist, it's homeboy.
Absolutely.
It's crazy, man. It's like I said, the conversation that happens outside of that is very, very interesting.
Well, wait and see how things unfold. People are saying he's gonna win the election now. I thought he was gonna win it beforehand, but this, like you said, it's taking it to a whole nother level.
They turned dude into a superhero.
Yeah,
They turned Trump into a mother effing superhero. When he
Yeah.
got up and he was sitting there like this and going crazy. I heard he was at the UFC fight with Dana White after. Man, look,
crazy. Yeah,
he turned into a superhero.
It makes you kind of love, like, oh, I love this. Come on, it's my brother right here. That's how it makes people feel. White people are gonna say that. That's my brother right there. Whatever they say. Like,
America,
pow.
America.
But it's like, damn, dog. Like, that's, I mean, come on, man. It almost feel like it's scripted because of the way it happened, the way everything happened. But I don't know. It's just wild, man.
We're gonna save y'all already. We know we sheep. We know we slept on. We know we don't
Illuminati.
pay attention. We know we all listen. Y'all can save those comments. We already did it for you. We're sheep. We don't understand. We know these guys and all this shit. So enjoy y'all banter, man. Let us know what y'all think in the comment section.
Yeah, definitely, man. But you got anything over there?